Welcome to Saving Democracy. Tonight we will be talking about the week's events, which it's an early one already. We've started off with a bang. Um, this White House is certainly keeping anybody who's trying to follow it just dizzy with how they throw news story after news story after news story out there. My fear is that people are getting caught in a state of almost confusion because there's just so much going on. The collusion, money laundering, um, you know, just so many different things that are happening. Um, I think what we need to do is just kind of narrow the field, and that's what I'm going to try to do. I hope I'm able to do that for you. Please leave any comments of something that topics that you may want me to go over or whatever. The first thing I want to talk about is insider trading. Um, you have seen today, or I'm sure you heard in the news over the last couple of days, that Donald Trump has decided to throw tariffs on steel and aluminum. Without getting into any details of what that does to the individual commodities themselves, I want to talk about Carl Icahn. Now, Carl Icahn is a billionaire, bona fide billionaire, and he has been advising Trump for a while. He actually had to leave as an official, as his official capacity, due to some other issues that he had. That's for a whole nother day. But a few days prior to Donald Trump announcing this, Carl Icahn pulled out approximately $38 billion in investments into these two commodities. Now, that is the definition of insider trading. And this White House has refused to hold anybody accountable for any of the just fleecing of America that's happening. And this is your tax dollars. I mean, it might not be your tax dollars that are in, what Carl Icahn did, but it's your 401k. That I can tell you. The market dropped, I believe, over 500 points that day. People lost thousands and thousands of dollars. Icahn made billions, I'm sure. And that's the problem. That is where the problem is here in this country. The people have lost their balls. I mean, what is happening when we are sitting here watching? Forget the collusion, forget the Russia thing, forget all of that. If you think that's fantasy, great. I really like to hear your take on that. Let's just focus on the crimes that are being committed right in front of your face. You have Ben Carson spending over $30,000 on a desk. Now, do you really think that they were spending $30,000 on a desk? Because I can tell you they aren't. That's what's called money laundering, in a way. In other words, Ben wants some money, so he puts in a request for $30,000 for a desk. They buy a $10,000 desk, and he puts 20 grand in his pocket, the thief. Okay, and I don't care even if it was legit that he was buying a $30,000 desk. He's a thief with our money. And we're sitting here laughing about it and debating, is this okay? What should they do? Kellyanne Conway has been convicted of breaking the law. But the White House says no, she didn't, because she weighed in on the election. It's illegal. And people are making excuses like, well, they don't know, they're not politicians. Kellyanne Conway, that's all she's done her entire life. Now, other than, starting out looking like a decent woman and looking like a meth addict now because of the stress she's under, she is a seasoned politician. That's what she does. And Donald Trump the thief that he is setting up all his friends. Because I got to tell you why. Because he's a broke. And he's got to pay these guys back. So that's what he's doing. He is paying back everybody that bailed his broke ass out. And I'm telling you, this president is a paper tiger when it comes to being a billionaire. He's nowhere near a billionaire. I hope to God Mueller lays out his tax returns. Because I know no matter how much collusion, money laundering, and everything, it seems to me that there's a certain percentage of people that just don't care. And I got to tell you something, you're un-American. Get out of my country. I'm being dead serious. You are the most un-American, unpatriotic person on the planet. I don't care if you're Democrat or you're Republican. If the President of the United States is breaking the law, he needs to go. And if he's not only breaking the law, but he's doing it because he's trying to help a foreign power, then he really needs to go. Now let's talk about Jared Kushner. Other than opening the door and greeting people at the White House, what is his purpose? He has no security clearance. He can't do anything. Yet he's getting top classified information. And I'll tell you what he's doing. He's selling it. You know what he's selling it for? To pay off his massive debt. His family's massive debt. There's a building in New York City called the 666 building. Maybe the number is just a bad number for people. They owe $1 billion on that building. And magically, the head guy from Citibank comes in and has a meeting with Jared Kushner and then immediately gets a $325 million loan, owing $1 billion on a property. Now, to tell you how ridiculously stupid that is for Citibank. And if Citibank is listening to this, you're morons and you're criminals too. This has got to stop. Your America that you grew up in, if you're my age, which is in the age bracket of 40 to 50, is gone. And it's taken over by these moronic human beings that just are letting our country just get ripped out from under us. I couldn't imagine being a World War II veteran right now and seeing what's happening with this country. It would make me want to puke. Puke. I mean, Russians are literally attacking us every day in the cyber world. That's a fact. Now, I don't know how many more experts need to testify on it, but unless you're a moron, that's what's happening. And now you know that the president has ordered no one and the NSA to attack these computers, which they can. They can fry them. They can literally just burn them out. But they have to have the presidential, go ahead. So they're not getting. He hasn't imposed the sanctions on them. The State Department got $128 million to fight cyber attacks by Russia. You know how much money they've spent? Zero. And now we find out, lo and behold, I mean, this was a real hard one to figure out, that the reason Mitt Romney didn't get picked as Secretary of State is because the Russians wanted Rex Tillerson. Now, I don't know how many pictures you've seen of Rex Tillerson being hugged and kissed by Vladimir Putin. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, Exxon drills more there than they do here in the United States. People, this isn't a joke anymore. It's not funny. And you can't just keep going around with your head in the sand, acting like you don't know what's going on. Now, I hear of all these militias And all these people that are ready to take over, they were ready to run up if Obama was coming after your guns. Well, here's a guy that's taking your country away from you, your freedom away from you. And you're laying down like a punk. Now, I'm not calling for violence, but I'm saying we need to do something. And there can't be just 10,000 people marching. There needs to be millions rising up and saying enough. Because this administration has broken and violated almost every ethical law that is even in the realm. We have got to tear the whole system apart when this idiot leaves and remake the entire political system. Because what he did, he didn't go in and fix it and drain the swamp like the moron said he was going to do. He went in and exploited it for his own family and friends. And filled the swamp even more. So that the next person that comes in does it even more. And there is still a percentage of Americans that are sitting there tuning in to frickin' Fox News and listening to Sean Hannity, who takes Julian Assange's word. That's who we're doing. That's what we're doing now. Julian Assange. That his word's good for us. Let me tell you how Julian Assange can completely deny that Russia gave him Hillary Clinton's emails. He's right, because they use a third party. That's called plausible deniability. I don't know if people just are stupid or you've never watched how things work. But this man is hiding in an embassy because he's a frickin' punk. I said it. He isn't the great person that everybody seems to think on the internet. He's a jackoff. And he works for the Russian government. And he begged for a job in this administration. And he promised dirt. Now, I'm all about, like I said before, lock her up, lock her up. That's all you guys want to do. You Trumpers, okay, we'll get to her. But we got to lock him up first. Because he's committed the worst crimes. She hasn't. Uranium 1, if I hear that again, I swear to God I'm going to puke. I am going to puke it so bad. The uranium never leaves the country. Google it. You have a little thing in your hand, people. It gives you the answer to almost everything. Use it once in a while. It's pathetic. It's pathetic when I sit around talking to a group of people and they know more about Kim Kardashian and what her ass implants are doing than they do about their own country. Makes me sick. Get out. That's what you need to do. You know what you people that are all Trump supporters and Russia lovers now? Go to Russia. Get the hell out of this country and go to Russia. Tell me how much fun you have there. When you disagree with the president there, like if I was doing this broadcast right now, you just hear these guys kick in the door and kill me. That's what happens there. Don't believe me? Go move there. See how it works. Now, I'm sorry if I'm angry and I'm, upset and saying some things that maybe hurt some people's feelings. But God, man, we cannot let our country just continue to slide down this path of zero morality. I mean, where are we setting the bar? I mean, it's in the mud as it is. What are we going to tell our kids? How do I tell my children to respect, do the right thing when they're watching this? Why should I do the right thing? Why shouldn't I start? Why can't I, like Wells Fargo, just start stealing? I should be able to break into their ATMs tonight and steal their fucking money. How they like it. I mean, it's insanity. People are still banking with those idiots. I know I've gone off on that before, but I mean, my God. I mean, really? You need a building to fall on your head? I have an 8th grade education. I am not afraid to say that. An 8th grade education. But I'll tell you one thing. I am doing the best as I can to learn what is going on. And I can tell you when I talk to other people sitting at the bar or having a drink or whatever, people are very misinformed depending on what mainstream media outlet they're watching. Turn it off. Don't watch Fox, and certainly don't watch CNN. They're crazy. Sean Hannity is an actor. So you know, he's not a journalist. He's an actor. That moron had his followers taking their Keurigs and whipping them and throwing them on the ground and breaking them. So they had to go buy a new one the next day. That's how smart those people were. You know how dumb that is? He's the one that got Alex Jones Pizzagate going. A guy went there with a gun, almost killed people. There wasn't even a basement at this place. They kept saying it was going on in the basement. This stuff's not real. Look, I'm all about it. If you find something that's real and it's tangible and it's newsworthy, then put it out there. That's why I'm not talking about anything that's on the cusp. You know, like, did Donald Trump launder hundreds of millions of dollars? In my opinion, fuck yeah, he did. But until they come out and show the evidence, I can't say that for sure. But I can talk about these other things because they've happened. They're happening right now. Kellyanne Conway broke the law. So why is she sitting in the White House? Where is the lock her up screams now for her? I mean, this whole thing about, well, Hillary didn't get it and Bill Clinton didn't get it. Do you realize how stupid that sounds? Like a bunch of 5-year-olds. Like, he did it first. He hit me first. She hit me. Really? That's what we've come to? The Republicans and Democrats? That's how we're doing this? That's how we're rolling? We're that uneducated that we can't even have debate? I don't know. I fear for this country, but I also I really do believe that we need this pain. Whatever pain is coming down the road because of all this, we need it. We need a reset. We need to tear the system down, rip out all the Republicans, all the Democrats, just rip them all out. They're all corrupt. Every one of them's corrupt in one way, shape, or form. They're using your tax dollars wrong. They're spending money illegally that they shouldn't. They're harassing the women in their offices that they shouldn't. It's insanity. I don't understand why we're not progressing to a point where, you know, people are rising up like and saying, hey, enough. It's like every day you turn the news on, there's something else that's even crazier. Do you actually realize tonight, as I'm speaking to you, Stormy Daniels, a porn star, is suing the president? I mean, and he's under federal investigation. And there's been not like hints of people doing wrongdoing. People are indicted. They're going to prison. So the clock's ticking. And I got to tell you something. We're either going to do something like save democracy or we're not. You know, people can laugh at me for what I do. And I've had people laugh at me. My own friends have laughed at me, what I'm doing. I don't care. I'm doing something, though. Maybe it's not the best. I'm on dialysis right now. Or I'd be in the streets. That I can tell you. I'd be organizing. Not violence. Civil disobedience goes a long way. Have all the truckers sit one day. Just not even move their trucks one day. You get the whole world to listen. It's enough rambling for tonight. I hope you guys get some enjoyment out of this, and I'd love to have some comments, and hopefully I can figure out some way to have maybe people kind of call in or something. We can do a little one-on-one, little debate or something. Anyways, this person's had enough for today. I wish you guys a good evening. And again, let's save democracy. Have a good night.